say that it reminded me of, cause when I used to try to be around trying to join the wrong crowds, because I didn't want to be considered as a lame. I was always considered as a lame. I was always overlooked. Man look at the outside, but God looks at the heart. It kind of reminded me of, nowadays we feel like, oh, it ain't popular to do what God tells us to do. You lame if you got faith. You lame if you, cause people started looking at me different, when I came to Christ, I'm like, man, this is my creator. This is who created me. I'm running around here like a chicken with my head cut off. I had to come to my Father to recognize and understand my identity. Dad, who am I? Why I was created. It starts with you. Everything started happening until it ran in you. Like, hold up, who it is? Who it is? Who it her? Who it him? They ain't like that. Don't nobody like that. You was always different. You were always set apart. You were always looked over. But you gotta understand, because you the grand prize, baby. You the grand prize, baby. This is the Bible story that came to mind when Esther, she was with King Ahasuerus. She was with King Ahasuerus and Haman. Haman, he didn't like the Jews because Esther, her family, I think it was her uncle, he had raised her, he had adopted her, because Esther, her parents had died, I believe, and so he had raised her, and then King Ahasuerus, he was taking in women and stuff like that, trying to trial the women, like, hey, is you for me? Is you for me? You know how the men used to do back in the day. Now, they want to see which woman is for them, this and this and this and all that. But anyway, we ain't talking about that. We talking about the way of being set apart, the way how you so different, the way how you so unique. And so, Esther, her uncle, which who adopted her, and so he was basically a father figure for her. Do not be ashamed because you did not have a good relationship with your parents. I was one of those who didn't have a good relationship with my parents, and I envy those who did. I envy those who did, because I seen too much. Let me tell you this. Because there used to be people that had parents and they didn't even, appreciate the relationship their parents had. But you got people that's out here like me. I ain't even got no good relationship with my parents. So I'm looking at them like, man, I wish I had a good relationship with my parents. And so don't be ashamed. Oh, now, the Holy Spirit had to tell me, how to be a child, how to be a child of God, and how to be a child in the natural, in the physical world to my parents. So we got a good relationship now. I love it now, and he had to teach me, principles and tools, and that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to pulling down a stronghold. We don't fight against flesh and blood. We fight against principalities. We fight against power. We fight against those things that is in the dark. So my father had to teach me how to do that. So do not be afraid if you grew up in a home where you had to have a father figure in your life or a mother figure in your life, because your parents may have not given you the love that you would want. But let me tell you, when God get a hold of us, God said he will adopt you if you was abandoned and neglected. And so once that happened and he adopt you, he gonna show you what a parent feel like. He gonna show you the love that he was always wanted to give you. He gonna show you the love that your parents wanted to give you, but yet your parents was taught what they knew. Your parents were taught what they saw. So you got to understand, it's a generational thing, baby. Do not hold it against them. Forgive them. Forgive them, baby. They don't mean no harm. They know not what they do. Love on them. You only get one parent one time. Love on them. So when you do have a father figure in your life or a mother figure in your life, appreciate them. Don't be ashamed about that. So Esther, when she was adopted by her uncle, and he treated her like he was a father figure to her, and he was like, King Ahasuerus, I want to save our family, so we're gonna have to come up higher, And so can you, he was talking to her about it, and it was like, you go work in the palace, go work and go see how we can get up in there. So we can save our family. That's what Esther did. And so on down the line, Haman, he got mad because Esther, her uncle, didn't worship him, didn't bow down to him. Esther's uncle looking like, you ain't my God. Our Father don't play by us. God don't play by you, baby. And so Esther overheard what Haman was talking about. And so he said, Haman trying to set up our family. He don't like our family. He want to kill our family. And then he want to set up the king, Ahasuerus. He want to set up the king. Now remember now, that's why you got to be careful who you let in your circle, and you got to be careful who your ear gate. My apostle talked about that. You got to be careful what you hear in your ear gate. You can't just let anybody tell you something and you ain't take it to God. You know, when you are told something, baby, you got to take that thing to God. You got to test that thing. Our Father going to have to bring that thing to you. He gonna have to bring that thing to you, because you can't just let anything in your ear that, hey, it messes with your mind, it messes with your thinking. You can't just let anybody in your circle. You can't let anybody in your circle. And so this goes back to, because Haman, he was next to King Ahasuerus. He was supposed to be King Ahasuerus' right-hand man. And so, because Esther didn't bow down to her, he got all mad. He done went home to his wife talking about Esther So once they and let me tell you this, Esther so smooth. She invited Haman after she got the 411 from her aunt, because she had sent somebody to her aunt to go tell him why he got an attitude. What wrong with aunt? Aunt ain't usually be acting like this. So she sent somebody to him, and she heard word back, and she was like, all right, I know what's going on. Hey, go fast. We finna get this under control, because we know who our God is. Esther said she knew who her God is. And then let me tell you how cutthroat she was. She said, whatever happened, happened. Whatever happened, happened. Because I know for a fact that I fasted, because guess what? I made my body holy and acceptable to my Father. So whatever happens, happens. That means whatever had happened, happened because I was open and I was available to my Father. So she was with it. And she said, whatever happened, happened. But go fast. That's what she sent word back to her aunt. So they all fasting and stuff like that. And so, because she was scared to come to King Ahasuerus. She was scared to come to him about, Haman, what Haman doing on the low. So once she got word back, after they had fasted and stuff like that, Haman, she invited Haman for a sit down, for a dinner, a mini dinner. She invited him, and he thinking, oh, okay, he finna come up in here to something good, because he was invited to, a dinner, a little sit down, a little gathering with Ahasuerus and Esther. And then not once, but twice. Esther, she knew what she was doing now. Esther said, okay, I'm gonna make it seem like, I'm just gonna set the mood on the first night, but hey, I'm coming with the heat on the second night, because I know what you did. I see you. I know what you did. I know what I heard, and I know my uncle, he don't walk around with no attitude like that for nothing. He ain't finna walk around with no attitude like that for nothing. So when she heard back about what Haman was doing, she had the meeting, and on that second night, she said, somebody next to you, they want to kill our family. They don't like the Jews. And so she was telling Ahasuerus, how cutthroat this man is. How he want to kill their family. Because ain't nobody bowing down to it. And so Ahasuerus was like, who you talking about? Who you talking about? Who is this reckless man? Who doing this? Who trying to destroy you? And he said, he let Esther know, anything you want, you do that. It's in your favor. That's when unmerited favor come in. It's in your favor. Esther had unmerited favor. So guess what? She said, it was Haman. It was Haman. And Haman sat there trying to lie, trying to deny it. He was sitting there trying to then on top of that, on the second day when they had to sit down, he sat there and tried to set up. Why they having dinner on the second night, try to set up Esther on the low, trying to make a trap for him. And so, guess what? God said, when you dig a pit for somebody, you fall into your own pit, baby. It's only a matter of time. Be well. So when what you try to do and try to set somebody else up and try to do evil to them, guess what? That's why I shield of faith for, because it's a fiery dart that's gonna shoot that thing back. So you gotta watch out what you be talking about to other people, because it will backfire right back on you. And so that turned around, it shifted around, because what Haman meant for Esther bad, it turned out for their good. And the same setup and pit that he tried to do to Esther get what? Ahasuerus said, nah, do it to Haman. Do it to Haman. Kill Haman. So Haman had to get out of here. Get what? Get who was up next. Get who received favor from God. Get who received favor from God. Esther was considered as a little servant, a watchman for the door. And that watchman took him up higher. He heard the 411 and he was like, nah, I gotta tell somebody about this. Hey, he ain't even want to tell nobody about that. He just, he started getting an attitude. He started getting an attitude. And so, who was up next? Esther because Ahasuerus liked how Esther was doing, liked his actions on that, liked his perspective on that, liked his input on that, liked his opinion on that. And so he was like, he wanted him to take Haman's place. And so Esther saved her family from being killed, from being slaughtered. And you got to know, you the generational curse breaker. It stops with you. God chose you. You the chosen one. So don't be ashamed for being different. Don't be ashamed because you got to be set apart. Don't be ashamed because you got to go through your ugly stage. Don't be ashamed because you the only one that's believing. The only one that got faith. The only one that decided to turn your life around and live right. The only one decided to I count myself not to have apprehended, but I leave those old things behind. Apostle Paul he achieved a lot of things, but guess what he said? Those things do not matter. What matters is the goal. What matters is relationship with my Father. He said, all that stuff can be cast into the lake of fire because I want relationship with my Father. That's what's important. That's what matters. God uses the foolish things to confine the wise. God ain't looking for perfect people. All right, y'all. I just had to drop that on y'all because my Father releasing me now. But guess what? Do not be afraid to be lame. Don't be afraid to be overlooked. Don't be afraid to be talked about. Don't be afraid. You got to step on into it, baby, because you drawing closer to your destiny. That's how you going to get there. That's how you going to get there. Because you can't be bound and living in fear. God ain't give us a spirit of timid and fear. He gave us a spirit of power, a sound mind, and to love. You love those people that overlook you. You love those people that talk about you. You love those people that look down on you. You love them. Do good to them. Bless them. Buy them a gift. Pray for them. We want the best for them. Because they know not what they do. But don't be scared and don't be ashamed because you're being overlooked. You're being set apart. It may seem like everybody got this or they got that and it's taking you a little longer. It make you seem like you falling behind, baby. You ain't falling behind, baby. You ain't falling behind, baby. You ain't falling behind. That's where the humbleness come in at. Because God got to show you, God wants your stuff to last. God don't want nobody to come up in and snatch your stuff. Snatch your stuff because you done got it so fast. Snatch your stuff because you moving quick. Snatch your stuff because you just want to be on the map so fast. You let God exalt you. You let God put your name on the map. Y'all have a good day.